The last delivery. You ever get a feeling that something just isn't right? Like the air around you is heavier somehow, pressing down on your chest? That's how I felt on my last delivery of the night. I work for a small pizza place, not one of those big chains, just a little spot that stays open late for drunk college kids and insomniacs. It was close to closing time when the order came in. One large pepperoni, cash payment. The address was weird though, out past the main roads near a stretch of half-built houses and empty lots. I had never delivered out there before, but I figured maybe it was a new development or some recluse who didn't like neighbors. The map showed a single house at the end of a dead-end road. I should have questioned it more, but at the time, I just wanted to finish my shift. The drive out there was eerie. No streetlights, barely any houses, just dark fields and patches of forest on either side of me. The further I drove, the more I felt like I was leaving civilization behind. When I finally reached the address, I thought I had the wrong place. The house was old and abandoned looking, boarded up windows, peeling paint, a warped wooden porch that sagged under the weight of the years. But the house wasn't empty. The porch light was on, dim, flickering, but on. I checked the receipt again. This was the right place. I grabbed the pizza and walked up to the door, trying not to focus on the way the air felt wrong, stale, like no one had stepped outside in years. I knocked once. The sound echoed through the house. Silence. I knocked again. Still nothing. I was about to turn around and call the number on the order when I heard it. Slow, deliberate footsteps from inside. Then a voice, low and scratchy, like someone who hadn't spoken in a long time. "Come in." That was the first red flag. Who tells a pizza guy to come in? I cleared my throat. I can just leave it out here." The door creaked open before I could finish my sentence. Just a few inches, enough to see the darkness beyond. I hesitated. Everything in me screamed to leave, to drop the pizza and go. But the stupid part of me, the part that needed gas money, pushed forward. I nudged the door open a little more and stepped inside. The house was cold. Dust covered the floor, cobwebs clung to the ceiling, and the air was thick with the smell of mildew and something off. Something that reminded me of old meat. The strangest part? There was no furniture, no couch, no TV. Just an empty house except for a single wooden chair in the middle of the living room. I placed the pizza box on the chair and took a step back. Your pizza's here," I said, my voice sounding way too small. Nothing. Then, upstairs, something moved. Slow, dragging footsteps. I turned to leave. I didn't care about the money anymore. But before I could reach the door, I heard something that made my stomach drop. Laughter, not loud, not playful, soft, whispery giggles, like someone trying to stifle it. And it wasn't just one voice. It was several, overlapping. I bolted. I ran to my car so fast I nearly tripped. My hands were shaking as I fumbled with the keys, trying to get the damn thing started. As my headlights flickered on, they lit up the front of the house. And that's when I saw them. Figures, pale and thin, standing in the upstairs window. At least 4 of them, watching me. Then one by one, their heads tilted sideways. At the exact same time. That was it. I slammed my foot on the gas and peeled out of there, gravel kicking up behind me. I don't take deliveries that far out anymore. And if I ever get another order for that address, I'll pretend I never saw it.
The wrong house. I've delivered pizza to some weird places before, but this one still keeps me up at night. It was a slow night, almost closing time, when an order came in for a large pepperoni. The address was only a few miles out, but something about it felt strange. It wasn't in our usual delivery zone, but the system didn't flag it, so I took the drive. When I pulled up, the house was completely dark. No porch light, no lights inside, just a small, run-down house at the end of a long driveway, surrounded by trees. I double-checked the address on my phone. This was the place. I got out, pizza in hand, and walked up to the door. Knocked once. No answer. I knocked again, harder this time. Still nothing. I was about to turn back when I saw movement in the window. Just the slightest shift of a curtain. Someone was inside. "Hello?" I called out. "Pizza delivery!" Silence. Then, the front door creaked open. Just an inch. No one was there. Just darkness beyond the threshold. At this point, every instinct told me to leave. But I needed that tip, so I took a cautious step forward. I have your order." A voice came from inside. Low. Hoarse. "Come in." Nope. Absolutely not. I set the pizza on the porch and backed away. "I'll just leave it here, okay?" The door swung open wider. Still no one there. Just that yawning blackness. Then I heard it. A whisper, barely audible but clear as day. "You shouldn't be here." I ran. I didn't look back. I jumped in my car, slammed it into reverse, and got the hell out of there. When I got back to the store, I told my manager about it. He frowned, checked the system, then looked at me with this weird expression. "That order never came through," he said. I showed him my phone, the address, the confirmation, everything. But on his screen, nothing, like it had never existed. I don't know who or what I almost delivered that pizza to, but I know one thing for sure. Next time an order feels off, I'm not taking it.
The house with no lights. Delivering pizzas isn't exactly thrilling, but it pays the bills. Most nights, I just keep my head down, drop off the food, and get back in my car. But last Friday was different. It was almost the end of my shift when an order came in for a house I didn't recognize. It was way out, past the last gas station, where the roads get narrow and the streetlights disappear. I double-checked the address. No special instructions, just a large pepperoni. Fine by me. I drove out there, the GPS leading me down a winding road lined with trees. After a few minutes, I pulled up to the house. It was old, really old. The kind of place that looked abandoned, with peeling paint and overgrown grass. But the strangest part? No lights, not inside, not on the porch. I checked my phone, no signal. I sighed, grabbed the pizza, and walked up to the door. I knocked once. Silence. Knocked again. Still nothing. I was about to turn around when I heard it. A soft click from inside. The door creaked open an inch, just enough to show darkness beyond. No face, no voice, just an open door. Pizza delivery?" I called out. No response. I don't know why, but I took a step closer, peering inside. The air smelled stale, like dust and something else, something rotten. That's when I saw them. Eyes, dozens of them, small, round, reflecting the moonlight. They weren't human. They weren't right. The door slammed shut. I didn't wait. I dropped the pizza, ran back to my car, and sped off so fast I nearly took out the mailbox. When I finally got back to the shop, my boss just stared at me. "Where's the money?" he asked. I quit that night. And the house? I looked up the address later. It didn't exist.